If you're put into a do or die situation, you're gonna go all in because, let's be honest, dying is pretty inconvenient. But add an option, do, eat a cookie, or die, chances are you're gonna go with the easier option, especially as the do option gets more difficult to complete. This phenomenon I like to call motivational osmosis. You are more likely to go the path of least resistance when given multiple options. Having a plan B is pretty good of an idea, especially during one-night stands, but not every situation is going to have a gray area for you to exploit. And sometimes the gray area isn't even acceptable. If you set the goal of squatting 500 pounds, is 475 okay? How about 500 with red lights for death? What about getting under 500, no spotters, an empty gym, and you start to slow down in the hole? Are you gonna fight for the lift or are you gonna bail? Having spotters in that situation lets you feel more comfortable with failing. In one situation, you finish the lift and achieve your goal. The other, you bail on your goal and go home with added emotional weight to your next attempt with 500. If you peel back the layers of what's going on in a situation like, am I going to achieve this goal? Is this goal achievable? And it's a situation where you are physically exerting yourself. Even times where you're mentally exerting yourself, like exams or job interviews, your body goes into the fight or flight response. Having a second option that's easier than the primary goal, the primary option you give yourself, limits the amount of effort that you are subconsciously going to be allowing yourself to contribute to achieving that goal. If you're given the option of going in person for an interview versus doing an interview online where you don't even have to wear pants, you're gonna go with the easier option because, let's be honest, it's easier. But if you aren't willing to compromise on achieving your goals, you don't need to have that second option. If your goal is to squat 500 pounds, go straight for the 500. Don't take 495 to feel it out. If you want to squat 400 pounds for 10, don't take one rep and then go for 10. That first rep is a feeler rep that makes you feel better about things. Your feelings don't really go into play when it comes to the fight or flight response. When you are in fight or flight, you get two options. You fight, which often comes out as you grinding out a lift, getting up close and personal to a goal, and contributing as much as possible. If it's a do or die situation, you're gonna do it. The flight response is you taking the option that is of the least resistance. We are in a very soft society as it is right now. We have options all over the place. You can go to school, you can drop out, you can work retail, you can do this, you can do that, or you can build your own empire, a business, build a business. And that doesn't require education. So school isn't 100% necessary for every person. You get people going to school to party because it's easier than going to work. It's more expensive than going to work too. You get people who sign up for small gyms to go exercise, but they don't put in the effort to exercise restraint when it comes to food. You can burn off X calories, but if you're consuming way more than that, you're not really achieving your goal of losing weight. As the great football coach Vince Lombardi once said, failure is a learned habit. When you give yourself lots of options outside of straight up achieving your goal, you've got that 500 squat on your back, you've got spotters, you've got chains, safety chains to protect yourself. You get to the hole, you start grinding it out, and chewing concrete isn't that fun. So it's not the platform, right? So let's get it next time. Next time. How often do you wake up to your first alarm? Oh, I'm gonna wake up on the next alarm. I'm gonna push my goals back. I'm going to have less time for me to achieve what I want to achieve. Failure is a learned habit. If you fail your goals and you justify failing those goals more and more often, it's going to build up to a failure mindset where, failure is okay. Can you afford to fail all of your goals? Well, if you keep justifying, I didn't hit this goal because it's too hard. I didn't hit this goal because I am not genetically gifted enough. I don't take the right drugs. I don't take enough drugs. No, if you want to achieve a goal, you have to put forth more effort to not fail than you do to succeed the goal. Because succeeding a goal is just a box you check. All the things that lead up to that, you want to squat 500, you have to squat 400, you have to squat 300, 200. You have to be hydrated, you have to be strong enough, you have to do your accessories, you have to put in the work, you have to sleep enough, you have to hydrate enough, you have to salt, supplements, food, relationships. Your body can't tell the difference between physical, emotional, and mental stress. You have to put yourself in a good mindset in order to achieve the goals. If it's not as simple as just squatting 500. It's not doing things that will hold you back, pushing yourself to achieve your goals through thick and thin. Powerlifting is not a comfortable sport. It's not natural for people to squat over 300 pounds. It's how, if you look back at the liver kings of our ancestry, how many of those Neanderthals do you think can squat 300? I mean, genetically, yeah, if they trained, training is not natural. We are in a society where we get to choose. We choose to train or we choose to get fat and lazy. We choose to binge watch Netflix shows for 12 hours straight, or we choose to cook for an hour, train for 3 hours, do cardio for an hour, sleep an extra 4 hours. Powerlifting is not about being comfortable. It is about being comfortable with being uncomfortable. You think you get comfortable, you load up 1,000 pounds on your back. Is that comfortable? No. You get the blood pressure spiking up to your face. You get the bar is literally pushing the blood out of your skin on your back. Every 1,000-pound squatter has a permanent scar across their back from where the bar went. It's called a squat back tattoo. The squat bar physically, permanently affects the back when you squat that much. It's not natural to be a powerlifter, even in the USAPL, because that's not what the body naturally wants to do. It doesn't want to go out. It wants to go in the path of least resistance. It doesn't want to go out and just keep exerting itself, adapting to new situations, more difficult situations. Put your body in difficult situations, it's going to adapt to it. It doesn't want to do that. It wants, the primal instincts of your body is to survive. Your body only wants to survive. It doesn't want to do hard work. The fight or flight response, if you are choosing to go and train, your body wants to go with the flight response because it's a choice. You can choose to train or you can choose to not. Your body sees those two choices. You're getting under a bar. I don't want to do this now. So you have to fight your natural instincts in order to push past your limit. Being comfortable doesn't trigger that fight or flight response. If you don't choose to go train, you don't have to fight. You've already chosen flight. The fight blinker isn't flashing at all. What's going on is you've picked the flight response before you've even crossed the situation where you have to choose fight or flight. You're already flighting. You're already failing your goals. I mean, you don't have to set these goals because these goals are difficult. These goals are difficult to do. You do not feel comfortable pushing yourself to puke, pushing yourself to stay conscious when there's so much blood pressure in your face that you want to pass out. It is very difficult to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and powerlifting is as far as it gets from being comfortable. Yeah, you can play soccer where 90% of the game you're walking. You walk 5 kilometers in a 90-minute game, but like, that's not so bad, is it? Powerlifting, it is. You're going. I mean, you're only lifting for maybe 60 seconds in a day, maybe 2 minutes on the platform. Every second that you are under that bar, your brain's going to be telling you, I do not want to be doing this. I do not want to be doing this. I would like to put this bar back. I would like to go home. I would like to eat some Ruffle chips. I want to fist a bag of chocolate chips and watch Netflix because that is the easier thing to do. I do not want to do hard work. You have to fight that flight response in order to be successful in powerlifting. The biggest hurdle is not being strong enough. It's not about being strong enough. It's about being mentally capable of doing the lift. Even before you've even done the lift, you have to visualize doing the lift about 1,000, 2,000 times. You have to sleep and visualize. What's it going to feel like? What is every time that I take this bar on my back, in my head, I'm going to successfully achieve this goal. I am going to bust out a PR. I am going to be the reigning champion of my own self. Yeah, it's about you versus you. It's more you versus your ancestors, your primal instincts. You have to fight that primal instinct to just run away from everything that's hard. It's more than just powerlifting. It is a mindset that travels with you through the gym, out of the gym, through your life. Powerlifting, as Swede Burns once put it, is about getting under a weight that can kill you and overcoming it. It is not a comfortable sport for the weak-hearted. It's constantly fighting the natural urge to find the path of least resistance to take. Don't die, but don't give yourself an easy way out, or you'll find your goals are going to the wayside more often than not.